In March 2021, fierce winds blew a container ship off course. In most places, this would have caused a minor incident, but in the Suez Canal, it was a global crisis. This vessel wasn't just blocking other ships, it was obstructing the flow of international trade through one of the world's most important waterways. The site of the Suez Canal has been of interest to rulers of this region as far as the second millennium BCE. To move goods between Asia and the Mediterranean basin, traders had to traverse the narrow isthmus separating the Red Sea and the Nile, journeying in camel bound caravans through the unforgiving desert. A maritime passage between the Indian Ocean and the Mediterranean Sea would bypass this strip altogether, and throughout the 16th century, multiple powers attempted to construct such a canal. But their paths were obstructed by cost, political strife, and the ever shifting sands. And in 1798, interest in building a canal was rekindled. And by this time, it was attracting attention from across Europe. Over the following decades, individuals from Austria, Italy, Britain, France pitched their plans to the Egypt's rulers. At, at the time, Egypt was in the territory of the Ottoman Empire, which was resistant to these proposals. But Egypt's political and economic autonomy was gradually increasing, and its government was eager to pursue the project. So while Said Pasha came into power in 1854, he approved a plan for enterprising, and he acquired or employed the manipulative French diplomat Ferdinand de Lesseps. Signed in 1854 and 1856, a pair of concessions gave de Lesseps authority to establish the Suez Canal Company and finance it by selling shares to capitalists of all nations. So the contracts between Said Pasha and the Canal Company also promised a workforce for hundreds and thousands of Egyptians. Beginning in 1862, about 20,000 laborers were forcibly recruited every month, digging the canal in the harsh desert conditions without easy access of food and water. Diseases like cholera and many other just run rampant across workers who are also under the threat of whips. The estimates of those who died during this construction range into thousands. In 1864, the new Egyptian ruler Ismail Pasha put an end to the coerced Egyptian labor, but he still pressed forward with the constructions. Foreign workers from all over Europe and the Middle East labored alongside dredgers and bucket excavators to remove 74 million meters of dirt. This massive population of workers required infrastructure to deliver drinking water and other supplies. So the construction of this site bypassed the Nile and ran directly from Port Said to Suez. And after years of work, these streams of two seas finally began merging into the mid 1860s. The finished canal was 164 kilometers long with a width of 56 meters at the surface, and it was officially inaugurated in November 17, 1869. While it struggled financially during its first years, the canal ended up dramatically changing global trade. It also facilitated the migration of numerous marine species, dramatically changing local ecosystems and cuisines for years to come. Over the decades, traffic through the canal grew, but in 1875, financial issues forced Egypt to sell much of its stock in the Canal Company, thus allowing the Britain to take over. It was only in 1956 that the control of the canal fully reverted to Egypt when it was nationalized by President Gamal Abdel Nasser. This move sparked a military standoff between Egypt and Britain, France and Israel. But once resolved, it transformed the canal into a major source of Egypt's national revenue and helped redeem the canal's imperialist legacy. Today, nearly 30% of all global ship traffic passes through that canal, totaling over 20,000 ships in 2021. However, the incident of the Ever Given is a stark reminder of just how fragile our man-made systems are.